Good evening, Yarnies. How is everybody? Let me check my levels. I think we're good. That's been updated. Alrighty. We are gonna get into tonight's square. This is our last week of Granny Month, and we are still continuing on the fauna because we did the flora the first 2 weeks. So fauna is all the wildlife, all the living creatures. Last week we did 2 butterflies and a dragonfly, and like the description wherever it is says, tonight we're doing the snail. And let me switch over. This is the snail. Pretty cute. It is a 6-round square. So you go around 6 times. And we're approximately 6 inches square. Might be a little more in one direction or whatever, because it's a unique center. It's a spiral. I'm using 5.5mm hook as usual and worsted weight yarn. For this project, when we start the snail's body, we're going to be working with two colors at the same time. You're going to start off with one color, and then you're going to switch, and then at another point you're going to switch back, and then you'll switch back. You're going to alternate to make the spiral. The blue stitches are single crochets and half doubles. The pinks, the first couple pinks, I think there might be some single crochets, maybe a half double, but majority of the pink are bullion stitches. So I'm going to review how to do a bullion stitch. I'm going to show the 2 methods. So I have a sample here of single crochets. Let me zoom in a little bit more. So I've done a row of single crochet. I chained up 2, and I'm turning. Oops, come on. You get this in there the right way. Chain up 2 and turning. This square, by the way, is from Yarnutopia on YouTube. The same one who did our last 2 squares, the large butterfly, which I have right here. Let me zoom out a little bit before we do it. That's Yarnutopia's, and the dragonfly, which the tail needs to be dealt with, and the snail are all Yarnutopias. All right, so refresher course on a bullion. We did bullion stitches the end of last month when we did our Back to Basics series. So bullion stitch is we're going to wrap the hook multiple times. I'm going to wrap it a total of 3 times. So we have 4 on the hook. Go into the stitch, bring up a loop, and then you're going to pull a strand through everything on the stitch. So it's kind of like a half double, but you're going through a lot more strands. The problem with this is when you do that, it only wants to go through 2, and then you got to work the other ones off separately, and then you can chain 1. And that right there is a bullion stitch, but it's messy. It's tight at the bottom and loose at the top. And trying to get them done perfectly with a crochet hook is not easy. So the trick is to get a latch hook. Okay, get these at pretty much any craft store. You can get them online. I need to redo my chains. So with the actual crochet hook, I will chain up 2 and turn. I'm going to take the crochet hook out. I'm going to put the latch hook in, and I'm going to wrap around the hook behind the hook part and behind the latch part. I'm going to do it on the body of the hook. I'm going to wrap it once, twice, 3 times, so there's technically 4 on the hook. Then I'm going to pull slightly so everything is behind the latch. I'm going to keep the latch open. I'm going to go into the stitch, and I'm going to push that latch through the stitch so everything is behind that latch. Now our working yarn is going to go into the hook, between the latch and the hook. It's going to close. We're going to close that in there, pull it through our work, and then push it out like that. So now we have 5 loops on the hook. I don't know how easy it is to see the 5 loops. And now we're going to put our working yarn in the latch again, in the hook, and close the latch, and then we're going to pull this through all 5 loops. And you got to work, kind of just ease it off. And then it's gone through, pull the loop up, and now we can chain to close. And that stitch is a lot more even with the latch hook. So that's a bullion. I'm going to do another bullion just to show you what it's going to look like. Oops. So throw it across the room. So I'm going to wrap, and you can, in this pattern, we're going to do that type of bullion where we wrap 3 times, but then when we get to more parts of the shell, we're going to wrap the hook 4 times. So it's a larger bullion, but that's just an extra loop. It's the same process. It's going to make a taller stitch. So we've wrapped once, twice, 3 times. Everything's behind the latch. Go into the next stitch, push the latch through. So the latch is all the way through. And now we're going to put our working yarn in the hook part of the latch. Pull, and it will close the latch on itself, by itself. Pull through, and then come through like that. We've popped that loop we pull through behind the latch. So now we have 5 on the hook. Put the strand in the hook part and pull, and it's going to close the latch, and you're going to pull that loop through everything that we've done. Pull through, push it, and it'll open the latch, and then put it in again to chain. So now we have 2 little bullion stitches that are perfect. If you can get it to work with a crochet hook, great. I can't. I learned this technique using the latch hook from the crochet crowd. Mikey couldn't get it to work with a regular hook or a Tunisian hook, but you can get it to work with a latch hook. So that's just a little demo on how to do it again. We're going to be doing it here in part of the shell. Let me put that over to the side. So to start, we're going to make it identical colors to what we have here. It doesn't take that much yarn. So I'm going to start with my blue yarn. This is going to be considered color A. And I need to change this music because this song is not really my thing. Okay. And I don't know if I like that one either. Okay, we'll see what plays. So we're going to use color A. And we're going to put a slip knot on our hook, chain 4, slip stitch into our first stitch to create a ring. So we got our little ring here, chain 4 ring. And then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to put 3 single crochets into our ring. Real basic. Actually, what I need to do is stitch over my tail. I always forget to do that. I pull my tail along with it. I'm going to do 3 single crochets into the ring. Okay? Actually, okay, yeah. Got to double check the pattern. It's been a while since I made a sample. So we have our 3 doubles. Now we're going to go in and bring up a loop. Like we're going to do another single. We're going to drop the tail. We're going to keep it connected. We're going to let go, and we're going to get color B. And we're going to join color B. Pull that through. So you got a lot going on. You've got your working yarns, and you got your 2 tails. Try to maintain them as best you can. So I'm going to pull my working yarn tight of the blue so it snugs up that stitch. And I got to try to get it to work where it all comes together. It can be a little difficult. Then what we're going to do is with our color B, do 3 singles into the center. So you're doing 3 of each. So we did our ring, 3 of blue, and then 3 of our pink. We're not going to be slip stitching and joining. We're going to be going into a spiral. So with the same color, with color B, with the pink color, into the next stitch, which is our first stitch we made, we're going to put 2 half doubles into that same stitch. 1, 2. Now is where we're going to use the latch hook, because we're going to be doing our bullions. So I'm going to take my crochet hook out and replace it with the latch hook. And in the next 2 stitches, they're each going to get a bullion, and it's a wrap of 3. So like I showed before, so we're going to wrap once, twice, 3. Technically, there's 4 loops on the hook because you started with a loop, but we're going to wrap 3. And in the next stitch, we're going to do the bullion. Pull it through. Kind of have to ease it off. I'm not going to chain 1. I'm going to actually, yeah, I will chain 1. So I will, oops. I'm going to chain 1 to lock the bullion. So you're going to do that again in the same stitch. We're wrapping 3 times, so 4 loops on the hook. Go into the same stitch. Pull it through. And then pull it through all loops on the hook. And now I'm going to chain 1 to lock. So we did that 2 in that one stitch, and then we're going to do 2 in the next. So we've wrapped 3. Go in. Form this bullion. And it's probably, I don't know if I'm making it clear, but it can be a little difficult to do. And this music is really irritating me. You know what we're going to do? We're going to switch back over to classical. Okay. So we did our bullion. I'm going to chain 1. Did I chain 1? Yes, I chain 1 to lock it. Okay. In that same stitch, we're going to do another bullion. So we're going to wrap 3 times. Go into the stitch. We're going to pull it through. Push everything behind the latch. Yarn over. And pull everything through everything on the hook. And do a chain. Whoops. As everything gets all twisted around the latch hook. Alrighty. So this row essentially started here with 2 half doubles in the first stitch, 2 bullions in this stitch, 2 bullions in the next stitch. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pull up the loop, take the hook out, and we're going to leave that loop there. Make the loop large, just let it hang. And we're going to pull up our color A, which is our blue. And in that stitch right here, we're going to put our hook in, bring it up, chain 1, and then in the next stitch, we're going to do 2 singles. The very next stitch is going to get 1 single, and we're going to repeat that 4 times. So 2 in the first, 1 in the second. So we're going to do 2 in the first, 1 in the second. Now we're going to do 2 in the first, 1 in the second. That was the third time because we did 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the first, 1 in the second. That's 3 times. You should have 3 stitches left. 1, 2, 3. We're going to continue that. So the next one's going to get 2. The next one gets 1 because we're doing 2 in the first, 1 in the second. And our very last stitch, which is this pink bullion stitch, the last stitch that we made of the bullion, that's going to get 2 singles. That is considered the end of round 2. So we've got our pink loop and our blue loop. And we're starting our spiral. Now what we're going to do is we're going to drop the blue and leave the loop long of the blue, and we're going to pick up the pink with our latch hook. In the next 14 stitches, and let's count. So I'm going to count from here because it's going to be right here where we end. So make sure we have 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have 14 stitches. And before I go into this round, we're going to have an ad break. I don't want to end up doing anything while we're on ad. So I will be right back. If I can find my cursor. And welcome back, everybody. Thank you for sitting through that ad break. So we're going to do round 3. And round 3, we've taken the hook out of color blue. We're setting that to the side. We're going to focus on pink. We're going to use our latch hook. And we've got 14 stitches. Before we went to break, I counted the stitches. We needed 14. And in the next 14 stitches, and let me just double check something, make sure I'm going the right one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. In each of the next 14 stitches, we're going to do a wrap 4 bullion. So we've got 1 loop on the hook. We're going to wrap it 4 more times. 3, 4. So it's a little bit bigger than the ones we've done. And in the next stitch, which is right here, we're going to put in a bullion. Come on, pull it through. Do a chain to lock it, and then we're going to do another bullion in that same stitch. Again, they're all wrap 4, so you're going to wrap it 4 times in addition to the loop that's on the hook. I'm trying to get this maneuver the right way. It's 2, 3, 4. You feel like an acrobat or a contortionist. Make certain that latch is open if you're using the latch hook. Through, and then bring it through all on the hook. Sometimes you gotta help it along. So there's 2 in the first one. We're going to do that into all of the stitches. So we'll have a total of 28 bullions on this round because we've got 14. Through, bring it through all of them. To be honest, I could have wrapped my loops a little bit looser to make it a little bit easier. I'm going to wrap it a little looser that time. Hopefully that was enough. A little bit. So that are 2 in that. So again, 3, 4. Wrap it 4 times. Hope this is making some sense. All it's really doing is adding some texture to the shell. 2, 3, 4. I got to go into that same stitch. So I need to, make the loop, my starting loop, a little bit longer. 4. Back in. Oh, come on. The latch opened up on me. Even with the latch hook, this is not a fast stitch. 4. I need to go into the next stitch. Oh. Come on. There we go. There's 1 in there. Back in. This would look really cute if you paired it up with some of the other insect, even though a snail's not an insect. With some of the insect squares that we've done and some of the flower ones. It would be really cute for a kid's blanket. My loops are a little snug there. Come on, I want it. There we go. You're just putting 2 in each for this round. But again, they're the 4 wrapped ones, meaning they're a little bit chunkier. And if you actually felt this, you could feel a difference between the single crochet and the bullion. The bullion has a little bit of a texture, just like the shell of an actual snail would have a difference in some texture. In a lot of snails, not I don't think all of them have a textured shell. I'm not an expert on snails. Almost done. I'm halfway done. But just take your time with it. Yeah, and the bullion stitch is one of those more trickier stitches. But it's not one that we use as frequently as other stitches. I make certain I've got enough slack on my yarn. That would help also. That was way too tight. I can't even get it into the stitch to form it. So I'm going to pull up a little. Pull up too much. Did I? I can't remember if yeah, I think I chained. Did I chain? I can't remember if I chained. Well, you know what? We're going to redo that stitch. I can't remember because it looks so much alike. 4. Go back in. Usually when I'm doing this, I pull it all the way through and I actually say out loud, yes, I talk to myself, chain 1. Okay. 5 more stitches to go into, so 10 more bullions to make. 2, 3, 4. That one, well, that one kind of went a little bit easier. There we go. When we get done this row of these bullions, we are going to end the pink. So there will be no more bullions and no more pink until, if you wanted to add a border, or in my case, I use the pink for the antenna, the stalks. I don't know what snails have on top of their head. I don't know what the proper term is. I'm just going to call them antennas. Okay, I got 3 more stitches to go into. Come on. There we go. Whoop. The chain. I got 2 more stitches to work. Well, 4 more. Each of them get 2. I meant to say 2 more stitches to work into. Now I don't like this song. Okay, I'm at my last stitch, and this last stitch again is going to get 2 more bullions. The wrap 4 type. And now we're going to do our very last bullion. We're going to chain 1. And what we can do now is, let me just double check to make certain if we have. Fasten off color B. Yes. So what we're going to do, I'm going to leave it on there for now in case we do have to add, need more of it, but I don't think we do if I remember the pattern correctly. So now I'm going to leave that loop really big, and we're going to go back to our blue. So the blue is still round 3. The pink was the first part of round 3. Now the blue is going to be the next part of round 3. So with blue, we're going to half double crochet in the next 21 stitches. So let me just double check and count. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21. So that's going to be our number 21. I'm going to put a stitch marker in there. And I really like these stitch markers that I got. I haven't broken one yet. And I like these large ones that don't have moving parts. You don't got to move and bend it, especially for bigger yarns or thicker stitches. Let me double check this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and this is 21. So in that stitch, that will be our last stitch we're going to work into. So I'm going to put that in there. So into all of those stitches, they're each going to get a half double crochet. 1 half double. 1, 2. This is the easy part. 3, 4, 5, 6. That bullion didn't form that well, but that's fine. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and right where the stitch marker was will be number 21. And you're probably going to end up blocking this anyway, so it's okay to, if it curls up. Almost done round 3. So now we're going to be working on the tail. So we're going to chain 4. And we're going to slip stitch into the second chain from the hook. So we chain 4, the second one in, we're going to slip stitch, single crochet into the next one, and we're half double crochet into the next one. Now what we're going to do is our last half double that we made here in this set of 21, we're going to half double crochet around the post of that stitch. So we're going to half double crochet around that stitch. And there's our little tail. And now the next 7 stitches are going to get a half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now what we're going to do, we are going to go and fasten off this pink. Okay. So I did chain 1 after I made the bullion. So what I will do is I will cut, and I'm going to pull that through. So now what we're going to do, in the next 4 stitches, so we're going to skip down here to this blue that we did here. The next 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to, in each of those, are going to get a long double crochet. So a long double crochet is you wrap once, you go into the stitch, pull up a loop, but then you're going to pull it tall. So that those loops there are pretty much even with the previous stitches we did here. And then you're going to just do your double crochet. So that's 1. And then you're going to go into the next one, pull up so it's long. It's 2, 3, and 4. So they're a little bit longer, but we're going to need that because we're ending the spiral, and we're almost ready to put this into, well, it's going to be almost a circle, and then we're going to square it up on the round after this. So we've got our 4 long double crochets. We're going to chain 3. And in the next stitch, we're going to slip stitch to join. Hey there, Anna. That chain 3 and the slip stitch is basically forming another double crochet, a long double crochet for the bottom. Well, this is actually, what we're doing here is this part right under the head. So the shell is mostly done. Now we're going to work on the head. We're going to chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And okay. So the third chain back, so third from the hook, starting in that chain and the next 3 chains, so those 4 chains, we're going to skip the first 2. In those 4 chains, we're going to do 4 double crochets together. So again, 4 double crochets together, we're going to wrap once, go into the third from the chain, third from the hook, go in, bring up a loop, pull through 2, and now we're going to wrap, go into the next one, bring up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, I'm going to wrap, go in the next stitch, bring up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and do that one more time. Wrap, go into that chain, bring up a loop, yarn over through 2, and now we have 5 on the hook, and we're going to oh, I know what I did wrong. One little quick step. Let's rip that out. Let's rip the chain out again. Well, actually, didn't need to rip the chain out. I'm good, Anna. How are you? So we're going to chain up the 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we're going to turn our work, because that actually, it'll matter. So again, now we can do our 4 double crochets together into those chain stitches. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Yarn over through all of them. And then this chain 3 that we did here, the top of that chain 3, so there's 1, 2, 3, that chain 3 that we did a chain 3 and slip stitched in, the top one, we're going to go in and slip stitch into that chain, and that will form the snail's head. And now we can fasten off. So I'm going to chain 1, cut, pull through, and pull tight. Your head spinning this morning? I'm sorry. I hope you feel better. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to weave in my ends, because we're pretty much done with the snail. We're just going to, our next couple rounds, we're going to turn it into a square, which is a lot easier than you would think. You'd be like, how am I going to get this into a square? We will do it. Let me just weave in these now so it's not a hassle later and they don't get in my way for when I switch colors. Cut that. Did that. My pink tail's a little short, but when I get done this square, I'll have to show you some things I've been working on. I'm not going to give a sneak peek of Throwback Thursday yet, but it's related to Throwback Thursday. Some things I've been practicing and kind of enjoying the process of. But that's after we square up Mr. Snail. So we got the shell, the tail, and the head. The only thing missing from him is his little antenna, but that's the very last thing we do. And before we start squaring this up, we're going to have an ad here in about a minute or two. And I don't want to get into it and then have to stop. Put my color, oh, I'm going to need the pink again because I'm going to do a pink antenna. So I will be back right after these messages. And welcome back, everybody. Again, thank you for sitting through the ad. So we got our snail done. That's considered rounds 1, 2, and 3. So for round 4, we're going to start with a standing double crochet. So I'm going to get a slip knot on my hook, yarn over, and we're going to start. I'm going to find the snail's little tail and 2 stitches over. 1, 2. In that second stitch over is where we're going to do our first. Put our standing double crochet into that stitch right above its tail. And in that same stitch, do another double crochet. In the very next stitch, do a double crochet. And then we're going to fold his little tail forward a little bit. And when we did that half double crochet here around the stitch, we did a half double crochet around the post of a stitch. That's where we're going to end up going. So into that stitch, we're going to do a double crochet. And that's going to be behind his tail, so his tail peeks out. And in the next stitch, we're going to do a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet. The next 7 stitches each get a double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The next stitch gets a double, a chain 2, and a double. The double, the chain 2, and the double are our corners. We should have 2 stitches. Yes, and the very next stitch gets a double. The next one, right here, gets a half double. And the next stitch, it's right here, we'll get a single. Right under the head, gets a single. We're going to chain 1. We're going to move its head forward. And in the next stitch, which is right there, gets a double. So that chain 1 and that double are kind of right behind his head. Next 2 stitches each get a double. Now we're going to have a corner, so we got a double, chain 2, and a double. And if we did this right, hopefully the counts are going to come out. The next 7 stitches each get a double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm just going to read ahead. Yep. The next stitch gets a double, chain 2, and a double. And as the next 3 stitches each get a double. And that is round number 4. We're going to slip stitch to the top of our first stitch on that round to join like we normally do. And it doesn't look like much like a square, but eventually it will be square. If you kind of stretch it, you're going to most likely block this anyway. So it's starting to be a square. We have 2 more rounds, and the next 2 rounds are pretty easy. We're going to chain up 3. Counts as our first double. And in each stitch gets a double. And that includes the little chain that's behind the tail. That gets a double. The corners get 2 doubles, 2 chains, and 2 doubles. You're going to continue this around. When we get around to the head, there's a little stitch you have to put in there. If not, it'll be slightly off. But this part is just like a solid granny, where each double crochet gets a double crochet. The corners get 2 doubles, 2 chains, and 2 doubles. Okay, so each of these stitches will get a double. 2, 3, and 4. Whoops, do the 4th one there. We're at the head. You're going to pull the head forward. That chain space gets a double. Well, not a single. Should get a double. And then that double crochet should get a double. So that chain space needs a double in there. At the corner, 2 doubles, 2 chain, 2 doubles. Back to the corner again. Our last corner of this round. And you finish this side. Now we're going to slip stitch to the top of that chain. And then I'm not going to show it here because we all know how to do another row. You're going to do the exact same row, the exact same thing you did on this row. Just make it bigger. So you have 2 rounds. The outer 2 rounds are just solid granny squares. And then just imagine another row there. I'm not going to end up doing all that. And now we're going to do the antenna. And the antenna, the stalks, whatever they're called. So we're going to take you could do it the same color as the head. I'm going to do it in pink. You could do whatever color you want. I'm going to put a slip knot on my hook. I'm going to chain 3. And then the 3rd chain from the hook, I'm going to do a slip stitch, essentially form a ring. Now we're going to chain 8. Third one from the hook, do a slip stitch. And then we can fasten off. So I'm going to chain 1 to fasten. And I'm going to leave somewhat of a long tail. Pull through. Believe it or not, that's going to be our stalk. And the way I like to do this is I'm going to weave in both of my ends to the midpoint. I'm just going to go and weave it in to about there or so. I'm going to just let it hang. Do the same thing for the other tail. Come up from the bottom. And then just going to weave through. One of these we can cut. I'm going to cut the shorter one. So we've got our tail coming out through the middle. And I'm going to take the tail. I'm going to get my snail. I'm going to flip it over on the back and find somewhere, wherever you're going to put it, the top of the head. So keep in mind, that's the top of the head. You don't want to put it underneath, give them a beard. I don't know if there are any bearded snails. So we're just going to go through and just stitch it on. She, from Yarnutopia, on the channel that I got it from, she tacks her antenna down to the back, to the square itself. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have it hanging free. And to give it a little extra support, after I've stitched it, I'm going to stitch into the antenna a little bit, just to give it something else to hold on to. And I'm going to go back through and go back into the head. Clip my tail over that. And you can arrange it however. If you want to tack it down, again, if you had another row, it would actually work. It would look a lot better, just like this. You'd have more background. But I wasn't going to do another round here on stream. And there you got your little snail. Again, you can always finish off your square so it'll look something like that. Okay, let me get my little scraps out of the way. It is pretty cute. And like I said, it would work well if well, these are actually approximately the same size. Let me zoom out. If you paired it up, again, we'd have to block. Pair it up with a dragonfly. This butterfly is a little bit large, but you can make the square a little bit smaller. And again, in coordinating colors. Again, if you made this square a little bit smaller, possibly you can coordinate it or make this square a little bit bigger. And then also join it with, if you made the flower from the other week, if you made it a little bit bigger, just did another round, it would probably, or maybe just single crochet around. You can incorporate all these together to do like a garden type thing. Again, match up your colors so they're coordinating. And you could do a really cute garden little blanket with your flowers and your creepy crawlies and your critters. Okay. We're going to switch gears. And I'm going to show what I've been working on the past couple days. I'm not going to show you the samples I made for Throwback Thursday. I've got 2 samples made already. That will be done closer to Throwback Thursdays, when I do those 2 projects. I'm not giving a sneak peek of this coming Thursday for our last technical square of Granny Month. It's a surprise. It's super, super cute. All I'm saying is Ladybug. It's super cute. It's my favorite. And it might go with this too. You'd have to figure out the sizing. but that one's super cute. So let's put away Mr. Snail. And I have been working on some vintage. I can't show that because that's okay. I have been working on some vintage. Let me remove that. And let's move this to the bottom. Okay. Been working on some vintage patterns and some edging patterns. This first one I got off of freevintagecrochet.com. This is an edging for collars or cuffs. The pattern is from 1935. I just did a little sample. And this is with a size 5 crochet thread. Just like yarn, there's numbers. You got like a 4 worsted weight. You've got like a size 1 is a super fine, etc. Crochet thread, it's a little bit different than regular yarn. The larger the number, the thicker the yarn. The smaller the number, the thicker the yarn. So this is a 5. I have some 3, which is a little bit thicker. Here, this is some 3. So this is a little bit thicker than the 5. I've got somewhere, I think I've got some 20 and some 30. I don't think I might have some 50. That's super fine. Was using the 5. I had to use my reading glasses and the magnifying glass. And let's see if I can do this properly with this setup. I'm not going to blind everybody, hopefully. But you can see the detail. You're going to get some reflection of the light bulb in there. There's no way around that. But I'm going to move it into focus. Oops. That's not what I want. Anyway, you can kind of see it this way. That it's a lot of chains and single crochets. I think that's all that this pattern is. It's relatively simple. I might end up doing this on stream at some point. Not for for Throwback Thursday. The first, I don't know how many edging patterns we do are going to be mystery ones. Grammy's going to pick them out, and I won't know until we start the stream. But that's one that I worked on. It's real simple and cute. And the description for it, let me see if I can find it real quick. Give me 1 second. See if I can find the pattern. I probably won't be able to find it this fast. Here we go. I found it. So this is from, open this up and move. Where? Oh, that doesn't have it on there? Wait a minute. Play capture. Actually, no. Well, that's not what we want. Didn't mean to show all of that on screen. Nothing was bad. Just. Alrighty. So, where did my computers? It's not letting me. Okay, here we go. So this is for the website freevintagecrochet.com. The trimming, the edging I just showed came from this book. I don't know if you could see it. It's 1937. Actually, no. Was that 1937? Yes. Yeah. This is from 1937. And the little description written up for this thing says, for that French look, crisp collars and cuffs, finely edged. What fashion is more flattering than immaculate lingerie touches, exquisite with hand-crocheted edgings? Wise women know, too, that several sets in white and color can do worlds to transform one simple dress into different smart costumes. Just the way they worded things and described things. So, that was kind of cute and kind of fun to make. And then the next one I made today from my one book that I got. This is from the Spool Cotton Company, and the copyright date is 1940. And I ended up making, let me see, this one right here. I didn't make the motif here. I just made the edging. I haven't blocked it yet. I did a small little sample of this. And this also was pretty fun and surprisingly easy to make. So keep in mind this isn't blocked yet. So it's just a little sample. This fan scalloped edging, which uses triple crochets and double triples. I was surprised, but I guess that's how you get the large fans. Let me move it that way. And this one is from 1940. So we've got almost 80-some-year-old patterns. So I've been having a lot of fun working with this. Again, this would look a lot better once it's blocked and these chain spaces are a little more perked up. But I've been having a lot of fun working this small yarn, well, small thread. Like I said, I've been using the size 5 crochet cotton. Now, they recommend okay, this book doesn't actually say specifically which one. They might say it. I didn't really. Oh, yeah, they did. For this one, they suggested thread in size is 20 to 60, which I'm not certain if it's the same size classifications that we use today. But that's as thin as I was going to go. And I used a 2.75 millimeter hook with the magnifying glass. And then this one here, they recommended a size 50 to 80. Again, I'm not certain if it's the same size of crochet thread that we use in modern times. But either way, it'll work. So that's a little sneak peek of our Throwback Thursdays that's coming up. A week from Thursday. Yeah, the 6th. The 6th, we're doing our first project. It's not a mystery. I know I've made a sample for it. Yes, The Joy of Lace. I love it. I've worked with this stuff before. Years ago, I made about a dozen or so Christmas ornaments, like snowflake ornaments. Like each one, I've got like a book of like 90, however many, 99 ornaments. And I made about a dozen of them. And I used spray starch. And that's as far as I went with it. Besides beaded crochet jewelry, I've used crochet cotton. But besides that, I've never done any edgings or doilies or that type of thing. So I'm really enjoying the process of it. And it looks pretty, but also the texture of it, I think it's kind of cool. It's very tactile. All right, believe it or not, we're going to have another ad. The time is flying fast. So when we come back from ad, I think I'm going to be working on something totally different from this. I'm going to be working on another yarn basket because I decided I needed another thing to put balls of yarn in and projects. So when we come back, I will work more on that. I will be right back. And welcome back, everybody. Let me just double check something here. And hey there, Clemiko. Are we still snailing along? We've already snailed. The snail has sailed. Lace weight, alpaca, or mohair give a totally different effect for lace. Oh, I can only imagine what that would look like. But that would be beautiful. But yeah, Clay Miko, if you're still here. That was my sample. I made it identical. It's just I didn't go around another round of the green. But that was our little snail pattern. Yep, we're making another one of these baskets. It's going to be identical to pretty much the other ones I've made. I've got a lot of this yarn that Clay Miko actually gave me. And I need at least, I think one more thing to organize some of my stuff here on my desk. I gotta really clean off, because I got a desk here to my right. I really gotta clean everything off of it and really reorganize. But yeah, before you came in, Clemiko, I was showing two of the little samples of crocheted edgings that I've been working on this past weekend. It's like, I'm not saying I'm obsessed, but I really enjoy making them, and I'll show them again. So there's this one. This is a pattern from 1937. Very easy to do. Very, very easy to do. This was a simple one. It's just chains and singles. And then this one I got off the website, the free Vintage Crochet website. Again, you can make it as long as you want. They recommend this for cuffs and collars, which obviously I wouldn't wear a cuff like this unless I wanted to be like the 1700s. But you could see how it would work for a cuff. Actually, this whole size is probably the right length, the right thing for a cuff, so that would work. And then this one is from a few. Yes, yeah. I mean, it can get more elaborate and more frilly for Renaissance Festival than this. You can get them much bigger. And then this one is from 1940, and it's a little more involved, but it's still easy to do. And it's a variation on a shell. I really like these. It's actually this is a 4-row repeat. I'll put it this way here. So, this round here is you're doing 3 triples together. So you're doing like clusters. You're doing 3 of them, but you don't finish each one. You finish all of them at the same time, so they're joined at the top. We've done 3 triple crochets together stitch, and then a lot of chains and double triples and a whole lot of chains involved. So, and that would kind of be, even though it's from the 40s, it would still work for, has a very Renaissance or colonial American like kind of feel to it, that time period, like 1700s. So, yep, on the neckline too. But now we're getting something a little more modern. Back to baskets. Oh yeah, it could definitely be pleated. So that's kind of my thing I've been venturing in, because I was prepping things for Throwback Thursdays, and I hadn't ever made any decorative edgings before. So I decided, you know what? I might as well do a couple simple ones. One from the website and one from the last one I showed was from this book. Like I said, this coming Thursday will be our last square for Granny Month. All I'm saying is Ladybug. We've got a surprise stitch for Granny Month, even though it's not a Granny Square, but it ties in for Saturday to end our month, our garden month. It's been great. It's been crazy. It's been a month. Yeah. Working on the virus shawl. Oh, yeah. I've never done the virus shawl or virus pattern before. Yeah, definitely share it in Discord. Next week, apart from Throwback Thursdays, is when we're starting our Throwback Thursdays. Next week, we are going to do filet crochet, which filet was done in vintage patterns, but I'm going to show it how to do filet crochet, how to read a pattern, and also how to design your own pattern. And it's super easy. Super, super easy. Filet crochet, if you can count to 3, you could do filet crochet. So that Tuesday of next week, I will explain what it is and how to do it. And then probably that Saturday, we will design our own pattern. It's shared. You'll attach the link later. Okay, let me see here. Oh, that is so pretty. Okay, we're gonna, those of you who are not in the Discord, and I encourage you to join the Discord. This is Claymiko's virus shawl that she's working on. It is, I love the colors, and I've always loved that pattern. Very, very nice. Again, I've never done it before. It's similar to the shawls that I've made. It's similar to the fluffy meringue shawl, but definitely different. Okay, let's do this before I forget. There's no front or back post things. Yep. Yeah, it's pretty flat. It doesn't have the texture that the fluffy meringue shawl pattern does. Again, for those of you who are wondering what I'm doing, I'm just working it around to get to the size I want. It's all half doubles, and then I stop increasing and to work my sides. I'm wondering if I will need to block your table runner. What is it made out of? What is the fiber content? I mean, technically, if you're going to be a crochet police or a knitting police, you should block pretty much every project. But I don't block. There's a lot of things I don't. Cotton. If it's cotton, I would block it. Depends on how even your edges are. Yeah, I would definitely block it. Like, okay, for instance, even though these are different stitches, back to this. This is 100% cotton. That was blocked. That was not blocked. but it still looks good. But if it was blocked, and I don't know if you can see these outer little chain, it's actually a chain 3 to make these little outer things. If they were blocked, they would pop and perk up a lot better than they are now. I mean, it still looks fine, but blocking does help, especially with cotton. Or I should say, with a natural fiber. Yeah. Definitely get a mat. Anything that you can pin into, you can put pins into, but I would strongly advise getting stainless steel pins, anything that's stainless steel, because you don't want it to rust. What I use, and it's not here. I don't have anything large. I've never blocked anything that long, but upholstery foam. It's about the size of a seat cushion, and then I use stainless steel T-pins, and they're not going to rust. Because you don't want it to rust and then have that all over your beautiful work and have that issue. But anybody who hasn't seen it yet, in the Discord, check out Anna's table runner that she's made or making. I think you said it's for a friend of yours. It's gorgeous. I love the colors and the patterns. There's someone giving away those alphabet foam mats, and they have 14 pieces. Yes. You mean like they're square tiles and they fit together like a jigsaw puzzle? They're used for like kids play mats. That would be perfect. And then that way you can configure them however you want. If you need them all in one long row, if you need them in a square or whatever, and when you're not using it, you can take them apart and they can stack. They're not going to take up a lot of space. Yeah, Anna is not in the US, so no Walmart there. She's not in Canada either, because I know Canada, they have Walmart in Canada. But yeah, if there's somebody giving away those alphabet mats and they have 14 pieces, that's plenty. And then, like I said, just get stainless steel pins, and once you've pinned it out, pull it. You don't want to pull it super tight, but you want to get it to the size that it's supposed to be, and then spritz it with water until it's damp. You don't want it soaking wet, and then you just let it sit and dry. Hey MK, how are you? I haven't seen MK in here in forever. Also like the connecting mats for aerobic workouts. Yep. Yeah, those mats have multi-purposes. I wouldn't go out and buy a yoga mat because they can be expensive if you're just gonna be pinning it. But if you can find something that would work. That was sassy. Yes, MK, you know me, I'm always sassy. But I'm just working on a basket right now. And for those of you who haven't seen my baskets, I mean, it's a basket. But what I'm making is essentially this basket here. It's got my little scraps of yarn. And that is however tall this is. You can make it however big you want. And it's about 5.5 inches tall and roughly, let's say, 8.5 inches wide. You were napping and now I'm awake. I don't have to be up at 3. You don't have to be up at 3. Well, that's good. I'm good. I'm just stitching away. You know what? Since people are coming in, I'm just going to keep these on my mat to show what I've worked on this weekend. My little vintage patterned edgings. So if anybody wants to comment on them, so I'm not constantly moving them here and there. Oops. Like I said, I don't, but basically I do. Be riding across that bridge. Oh yeah, you're still working over there? MK works kind of far away from home at the moment. Love these baskets too. Need to make an extra large one for your stash of your daughter's toys. Yes. Whichever whatever takes over is the first. Whichever takes it over for first once it's made. Yeah. Oh, store manager. Oh, nice. Oh, sad crying emojis. Well, you work for the company long enough. You know how it is. But yeah, the making these baskets are great for all different types of things. You can store, you name it. You can make them as big as you want. I mean, if you're gonna make them really big, I would definitely um, do more strands together so it's a little more sturdy, and use a much bigger hook because you're using more strands together. Or use some thick jumbo yarn. I didn't do that right, did I? Oh well. Well, I don't think I chained up, but it is what it is. I'm the only one that's going to be looking at it. Can you show us a market bag in the upcoming months? Our county has banned plastic bags. We're going to need some. Um, yeah, I'll have to do some research on it. I've never made a market bag. All my employees are 50 plus old ladies. Must My old ladies must be hustling. Wow, good for them. Yeah, Cleamico. I'll have to find um, I'll have to find a pattern and then practice it and then adapt it to change it to make it my own. Because again, I'm not going to be making someone else's bag. Yes, I did other people's squares, but I don't think I'm going to do someone else's bag unless there's anybody here that has their own pattern. And I would definitely suggest it made out of cotton or something strong and durable and something that's not going to really stretch. Got soda yesterday and I had to carry them in a brown paper bag up the steps. You know how many? Yeah, not Claymico. MK um does have to walk up a lot of steps. Yeah, to heck with all the steps. Ugh. The 4 steps to come into my house or up from the garage or from the to the front door are Enough for me, and then however many to come upstairs. Move these, keep those in. Okay, Clean Miko. Glad you can stop in. But yeah, like I was saying, everybody check out this coming Thursday stream. We're doing Ladybug. You managed to secure the placemats. That's great. So you'll be set. You'll be set to block everything. Like, you can be blocking for days. I'm so worried I won't do it right. You'll be fine. You're not going to mess it up. Just don't pull it too tight so it's completely distorted out of shape. You basically want to pin it to the size that you're going to want it to be, and it's just basically getting it so it'll align all the stitches and fluff up and not fluff up, but kind of perk everything together. And like I said, this has not been blocked, and those outer little scallops are chain 3 spaces, and then these outer scallops I think are chain 4, chain 5, and you can see how much more even that they are. And I didn't put pins in everything. I pinned along periodically, maybe about 5 or 6 pins along my straight edge, obviously at the ends, and then I didn't pin into the chain space. The way I did it is I pinned into, there's a single crochet here, I pinned in the single crochet, and I pinned like here, like in my singles, and that kind of helped. So we'll be putting that around like a bowl of soup. No, why am I calling you Clay Miko? No, MK. This is not for a bowl of soup. This is to hold things like my carding supplies when I card fiber, or my balls of yarn. Actually, what this is going to be for, let me get this other one here. This, it holds, well, that's all some miscellaneous. Oh, that's that little stuff. Okay. This holds my different sizes of crochet cotton. So this is like a size 3. These are, and I gotta always write it down. This is my size 20, which is tiny. I think those are size 50, I think. Well, I've got more. I got my size 5, is what I made these edgings with. I don't have a place to put these, so I need another bowl for my size 5s. So no, I'm not going to put a bowl of soup. That's a big bowl of soup. I mean, that's more of like a pot of soup. The other thing I need to do is I need to get a board of wood, because I showed this on stream the other day. Let me put that over there. What I got from Amazon, I ordered, like I said, I ordered stitch markers. And I like this type because they're already open. The other type I had a few of them that you used them like 2 or 3 times and they would break. So far, I haven't broken any of these. They also have these ones that you don't have to lock into place. They're already open. That's good for larger jumbo. They're not jumbo, thicker yarns. And then they got these cute little ones that have a little heart. Look at that. Look at that, MK. Isn't that cute? Looks like a little locket. She's going to say something that's kind of, aww. And then I ordered my yarn needles. I needed a bunch more. They're bright colors. And it came in this cute little tin that looks like a saltine cracker. And then I need to get a board of wood to staple gun this too. Oh, yes. Find all the little notions and the hooks and stuff. I've got some carding cloth that I'm going to use as a blending board, but I need to get a board of wood that I can staple gun it to. The ones I have are going to be too narrow or way too wide and way too long, and we don't have a circular saw, and I'm not cutting it by hand. I mean, I could, but so. But we got another ad break. When we get back from the ad break, I'll work more on the basket. So I will be right back. The ads are just keep coming and coming and coming. Yeah, they'll cut it for you. I mean, I'm trying to find something around the house that I don't have to purchase. Things on always on a budget. So I will be right back after these ads. Thank you, everybody, for sitting through that ad. I had to change the music because it was getting a little depressing. And I need to find a new service for Twitch safe music because the service I'm using is going away come the 17th. I don't like this beat. I think I missed a stitch there. Oh well. And yes, MK, you could make these things to go around like a soup bowl, especially when they come out of the microwave, so you don't burn yourself. And you would use cotton like this. It would also help if I use a slightly bigger hook, but I want my stitches to be tight so the sides will stand up. Because the one I made that's holding my carding supplies, I used double crochet stitches, and it works, but they're not as firm. And it's strange tonight working with worsted weight yarn and a larger hook because the past couple days I've been doing the more finer stuff. That stitch didn't work. It was like splitting the one strand. I hate it when it does that. What's this song called? Scented Measures? Or is that the band? Oh no, it's called Space Garden. Well, that kind of fits in the theme of Granny Month, Garden. I lost a strand. Well, a whole other, not strand, lost one of my plies. Ready to slip stitch to join. Keep going larger. So it's definitely making a bowl shape. It's more of like a tray right now, or a shallow bowl. So what is everybody working on? Even if you don't crochet, even if you don't craft, anything else in general. And again, I have the YouTube channel and the Discord, which I don't even know if I mentioned that today. I mentioned the Discord, I didn't mention the YouTube channel. So check those out. Follow. Starting a new corner to corner. Yeah, I need to get back into corner to corner. I've only ever done that sample that I did months ago for the stream. I've never done an actual full project corner to corner. But yeah, check out the YouTube channel. Follow there if you like. All of my streams, when they're done, they get uploaded directly. No editing. It's pretty much as you see it here. And then check out the Discord if you're not a member of the Discord. We share projects that we're working on. There's other resources in there. And if anybody's got a question, there'll probably be somebody in there to possibly can answer it for you. And the Discord is not just for crochet. It's for anybody that makes crafts or is interested or is curious. A couple of us have posted pictures of garden stuff. I think Lady, and I can never remember her username, Lady, and it's a bunch of numbers. I think 1241. I think that's the username. She's posted pictures of some pottery, I think, that she's done. All different types of things. I mean, it's mostly crochet or knit, but I'm always open to other things that people are working on. It doesn't have to be fiber crafts. If you're a woodworker, jewelry making, working with wood and carpentry skills, paper crafts, you name it. Painting, drawing, which I envy people who can paint and draw. I don't have the talent for it. Tried and not really good at it. Also, keep in mind, put into your calendar, Sunday, July 16th. There will be no temperature blanket stream that day, but that day, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern, I will be doing my marathon stream to celebrate reaching 100 followers, which I achieved that a while ago. And during that stream, I will be making a blanket that I will be donating to Project Linus. Yep, marathon stream. Yep. And it's going to start at 10 a.m. Eastern, East Coast of the United States, and go till whenever. the pattern that I'm going to be doing for that stream. Let me see if I can find it. This one? Yes. Is going to be a blanket called, and I'm doing it in a solid color. I'm not doing it in a gradient like their example is. It is the Endlessly Elegant pattern. I'm not certain where, I think Grammy might have sent this to me. I don't know where it's originally from. But that is the pattern I will be doing. But again, I'm going to be doing it in a solid color, in a lightweight, I think it's size 3 yarn. So that will be the pattern. And while we're here, this is just some other colorways. Just going to scroll through real quick. I'm not going to show the entire pattern, but some examples of what people have done. Whoops. Okay, why can't it scroll? Whoops. No, I don't want that. I don't want that. That's weird. I'm having some issues here. Again, it's not my pattern. There we go. I was trying to show the bottom picture. It's not my pattern, but I'm not going to tell how to do it. I'm not going to explain. I'm just going to be doing it. So they've done it in solid colors also. So I'm just going to be doing it and chit-chatting. And yeah, that's to celebrate reaching 100 followers, which I achieved, I think, sometime back in April. I'm now up to 156. So if I get more, I get more. Yeah, it is a very pretty pattern. It's a free pattern. But again, I'm not going to be instructing on how to make it. I'm just going to be doing it. So that is on the 16th. Let me double check to see if the 16th is a Saturday. I mean, a Sunday. Yes. So in not quite 3 weeks from now, a little less than 3 weeks. Come on. But yeah, like I said, that's okay, MK. Like I said, next week, well, the rest of this week, we'll finish up our Granny month, our Granny Garden themed month. And next week, we're going to start with filet crochet. And Thursday, the first Thursday in July, will be our first Throwback Thursday. And, that's looking weird. Double check my calendar. So I'll tell you what's going on for July. So the first week we're doing filet crochet. The second week we are going to do t-shirt yarn. Don't throw back. Throw it back too hard, might throw your back out. Second week we're doing t-shirt yarn. I'll show how to make t-shirt yarn. And then we're going to crochet with t-shirt yarn. The third week, we're going to touch a little on mosaic crochet. We're not going to go too deep into it because that's a whole nother rabbit hole. Because there's tons of different mosaic crochet stitches and patterns, and I've seen some of them like that was crochet. Yeah, it's gorgeous. A lot of color work. And then to round out July, we will be doing beaded crochet. And no, I don't have a sample right now. Oh, okay, MK. Okay. So, that is what we will be doing in July. And again, every Thursday will be a vintage pattern of some sort. Some I will know about, and then some I won't. Like the 13th, Thursday, July 13th, Grammy will be selecting a vintage edging pattern from a book. It's got 100 edging patterns in it. She's going to select one, and she will let me know right before I stream, like minutes before I stream, which one we're going to do. I haven't even looked through the book, and we'll figure it out when we're live. So there won't be any time for me to practice and do tests and have a sample. Going to be going into it blind. So that the first one of those will be on the 13th. I think right now every other Thursday will be a mystery decorative edging pattern, which these are edgings that you can edge garments and handkerchiefs, hand towels. Roll the dice live on stream to pick the pattern. That's something we could also do eventually. Or kind of like I'll select maybe about like 4 things and then have like a poll or something, and everyone can vote which one we do. There's different ways of doing it. I know what we're doing. Now again, the mystery ones, the mystery edge patterns, I will be doing in crochet cotton, and I'll be using the magnifying glass. But the other Throwback Thursdays where I have samples of, the sample will be in crochet cotton, but I will demonstrate on stream in larger, most likely worsted weight yarn, so everybody can see it. So I'm not going to subject everybody to tiny little stitches with the magnifying glass on every stream. I don't want it to be tedious. I gotta refresh this page. Why is that doing that? Okay. And I'm also thinking about what we're going to do in August. I haven't planned that far in advance. I do know probably once we get into fall, maybe September, we might have another granny event. I'm just glad that that old lady didn't hijack my stream this month like she did previously. Don't have to worry about that. I hope not. She is very sneaky. You're right. But working more on this. This is. I think I might have decreased at some point because it's starting to come in a little more, which I'm okay with that too. And I'm going to take a little pause from crocheting because my hand is hurting because that's a lot of stitches to go through. And I'm going to see if this will fit in here. It probably will. I may end up stopping, or I could go a little further. Oh, we got some Christmas. Yeah, I'm going to have to go further because all this isn't going to fit. I didn't realize I had all of this. Well, I knew I had a lot. I just didn't know exactly all that I had. Kind of white. That's pretty. Those purples. I have a book, and I haven't done it yet, but at some point, I want to do some edgings out of this book, and they're all florals, and you change colors. And I think I've got probably all the colors, except I don't have any of the light blue. But I think that would be kind of cute to do sometime. Yeah, I definitely have to go a little bit higher with this. It's all not going to fit. And everything's coming unraveled. I hate it when you come unraveled. Some of us are not wrapped too tight to begin with. I'm not naming names. Okay. Let's go back to this. We got to do at least, say, at least another 5 more rows. I got plenty of this yarn. I've got 4 more cakes sitting on top of my desk. As I was mentioning earlier in the Discord, that some of us have posted pictures of plants and gardening and stuff like that. I'm gonna take a picture of it. The other week I planted some. I posted pictures of the annuals that I planted in some flower pots, but I had some nasturtium seeds and had this big pot, and I said, "What the heck?" So I threw a bunch in there, and I've got about a dozen little sprouts coming up. No blossoms yet. It'll take a while for them to bloom. I think roughly a month and a half or so, I think it says, until they will produce blooms. So when that happens, I'll take a picture and share with everybody. And believe it or not, we're going to have another ad. And this is turning into a longer stream. I'm already at 2.5 hours. Normally, I only do about 2. Well, what the heck? I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to be just working on my basket, bowl, whatever you want to call this thing, and we'll just hang out. Wish I could do things like this. My hands would be so much in pain. Well, at first, it was the same, but once you get used to it, um, it's not that bad. And I also take breaks. Believe it or not, I do take breaks. Might not take breaks here on stream, but I don't crochet all the time. And you could probably do it. I've got a friend. He's been in here a couple times. I think he watches some of the playback on YouTube, and he's learning how to crochet. You've been on for 2 hours. That's not a break. I know it's not a break, but I do take breaks. And when I go to ad break, I take a break for about 3 or 4 minutes, or however long, 2, 3 minutes, whatever. And when I was doing these, I'd stop and I go and refer. You weren't here when I was doing my little snail. Yes, we did our snail today. I would refer back and forth, so I would take a little break. And with that being said, we're gonna go to a break right now. I will return. Welcome back, everybody. Alrighty. So you said you like the little snail. The snail is cute. So if you like the snail, I'm going to do a little recap for the past month. So the little snail was tonight's. And we're going to visit his friends. I got 2 of them. This is a dragonfly. I don't know if you can make it. This is the body, and there's its wings. And its little other dragonfly friend. I need to do something with the tail. The designer tacks them down, but I didn't want them tacked down because I wanted to be flying. So there's our little dragonflies. And then, to keep the snail and the dragonflies company, we have... I didn't finish that one off. We've got some butterflies.
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high.
So we got some butterflies. And then we've got some more butterflies. I like that one better than this one. I don't like the hot pink. So, got some butterflies. And they're 3-dimensional because all the insects, they can fly. And they can... The snail's head and tail are... Yeah, okay. So that was what we've done so far with the animals. Well, they are animals. Insects and snails. And then what we started the month on, and I'm not going to go in order that we did them, but we started, this is all the garden themed. So we're now in the animal. Let me turn that down. And we've got our garden. We've got our little simple flower. 3-dimensional, sticks up off the surface. I don't remember what I called this. So we got our little flower, and I really like the border, the trellis type border. So there's our cute little flower. Then this was the complicated one. Complicated because I had to decipher it from Spanish. But this was our spiral lacy pattern, which is also 3-dimensional. A lot of chains and picots. Then early on, this is one of the earlier ones we did, and I got to reform my flower because it got all smashed. Kind of cup them up. We made our peonies. That one, I need to really block that one for some reason. So again, 3-dimensional, cute, but really cute on for a blanket, an Afghan, or even, I don't know, whatever you want. And then, I think this is the first one we did. I made 3 of them. We got our little slightly 3-dimensional daisy. Real simple. Easy to do. Simple. Very, very easy to do. So we got our little daisies. And they just got little popcorns. And then, I think this was the last flower we did. We did our popcorn flower, which I really like. Very textured. Again, simple to do. We've got a bunch of those. And a lot of these you can probably put together depending if they're the similar size. Then our most complex one that gave me a headache to decipher the instructions and gave me a headache to do on stream, and I think this took about over 2 hours just to do one block, was our cherry blossom and snow. Again, these are all from different YouTube and Instagram posts, and I've linked them all in the descriptions of all of the videos. So that is super detailed. Use a little bit of yarn for each round, because you need a little color here and there. And then the tie for my favorites for flowers. It's that one is a tie, but I think the one that wins is the water lily. That, I think, is my favorite flower one that we've done this month. Three-dimensional, of course. All these are three-dimensional. Simple to do. So that's what we've done so far in Granny Month. And we've got one more coming up on Thursday. And again, all I'm saying is Ladybug. We move all of my garden. Put the garden away. Oh, no. One last. Forgot the little one. The little one. It's always the little one we forget. I think this is called the Dainty Puff Square, but I call it the Dogwood. The pink doesn't show up on camera that well. But real 3-round repeat. Super cute, super simple. You could do a bunch of these all together in different coordinating colors. You can even piece them together like this. So they don't have to be in rows. They can be on point. So, very, very simple, very cute. So that's what we've done so far this month with our grannies. And we have one more coming up on Thursday, and then our related stitch for Saturday. It's not a granny square, but it does fit in with the garden. That's what we got. Let me see who's in here. I think everybody. Let me check. MK, are you part of the Discord? I know you don't crochet and do any of this stuff, but I would recommend joining it to see some of the stuff that people make. Also in the Discord, there is a list of chat commands for anybody who doesn't know, who already is in the Discord. It's a list of chat commands, and you can use anybody can use those during the stream. A while ago, this was actually going back to right around New Year's. Actually, no, it was before New Year's. It was still during the holidays when I was that's what it was. When I was making the yarn gnome ornaments. If anybody was around back then, again, that video is on YouTube. I made these Christmas ornaments that look like gnomes, but they were primarily made out of yarn. And one of my users, which he hasn't been in here in a while, referred to this color green as sad green. He said it was very sad. So I think that was one of our first chat command sounds. So ever since then, sad green has been sitting on my desk, does not go in with all my other yarn, and sad green within the past couple of weeks has served another purpose. Sad green holds my yarn needle, so I'm not losing it. So it's my makeshift pin cushion. So if it's actually has some purpose, and it's not so sad. So that's a running joke with a lot of us in here. We haven't used that term or that chat command in a while, but there's a bunch of other ones. A lot of them are self-explanatory. And I'm always updating that list. Like the latest one was the butterfly one. I don't know if we're going to use it again because I don't plan on making any butterflies in the near future. Actually, there are some vintage stitches, edging patterns that have butterflies in them, so we might do one of those in the future. We never know. But I'm updating that list all the time when I add a new chat command. Also, the chat commands for the YouTube channel and the Discord are in there also. So if anybody wants either one of those, all they have to do is type !YouTube or !Discord. They will also come up periodically in chat if you've noticed that. Oh, I also have a lurk command. So if anybody's just going to be hanging out and not really interact too much, you can always use the lurk command and just let us know that you're lurking. You don't have to use it. It's just, I know that's something a lot of streamers have, the lurk command. And I'm not stopping anytime soon, but for some reason, none of the people I'm following are on at the moment. But that's okay. I don't have to go raid anybody. I'm just having fun working on this and just running my mouth. I know some of you are some people in here are going to be like, yeah, you do that very well. And I don't know what it is. The past couple days, for some reason, I've had energy. And I've been getting things done. I'm being productive, and it's like, I don't know where this is coming from, but I'm taking advantage of it while it's here because it probably won't last. Why did I do a chain? I don't know why I did a chain stitch. That was just random. Maybe because I was doing so many chain stitches on my the lace edging patterns. My brain was like, no, we need to do that real quick. Bowl's getting taller. Basket, bowl, whatever we're going to call this. Speaking of baskets, on that free vintage crochet site, I'm not making one of these, but they had some crocheted, and again, using the really thin crochet thread, crocheted baskets that after you're done making them or in the process of making them, you starch them so they stand upright, and they're cool looking. I'm not making them. I mean, I could see that as like a centerpiece for like Easter or something, but yeah, I'm not making a starched crocheted Easter basket. This here you don't get a starch. This one will stand up on its own, hold its shape. And they had the handles and everything, and but if anybody's curious and just wants to look around, definitely check out that website. That website is listed on my Discord, and even though it's not a YouTube, it is in the YouTubers to Watch channel, and it's called freevintagecrochet.com, and it's just cool just to look and see some of the patterns and things they have on there, and it's not just edgings and doilies. They've got Afghans and baby items, and let's see, what else do they got? Just take a little quick look. Bedspreads, belts, butterfly patterns, chair sets. For any of you who don't know what a chair set is, it would be 3 pieces. 2 would be the same, more smaller and narrower, and the other one much larger. And they were to go on your armchair. The 2 thin pieces would go on the armrests, and the large piece would go on the back of the chair. They would be coordinating and decorative. Got there's coat patterns, curtains, dresses, glass jackets. Glass jackets were basically kind of like a beer can cozy to hold your beer can or your soda can, but for your glassware to dress it up. Yeah, that was a thing. Hanger covers to cover your like a wooden hanger, so they're decorative and soft. So I guess wooden. If you had some delicate clothing or whatever, it's not going to put creases or in it as much. There's kitchen patterns for like hot pads and oven mitts and lampshade patterns, which I'm not crocheting a lampshade. Oh, did I break? No, I didn't break it. Almost broke that yarn. What else do we got? Luncheon sets were basically like placemats and that type of thing, table runners, that type of thing. Sweater patterns, napkin holder covers, necktie, yes, crocheted neckties, pillows, pincushions, you name it, purses, rugs, scarves, shawls, shrugs, skirts, socks. Just, yeah, tablecloths, toys, all different types of things. So it's just, even just out of curiosity, it's just cool to go there and search around and see some of the stuff that was made back then and was somewhat popular. And most of it is from the 30s and 40s and 50s. I did come across, I think it was a men's sweater from like the 19 teens. I don't know if there's anything from the Victorian era. You're going to go to sleep. Okay, you're going to lurk. Okay, that's cool. Thank you for popping on in. And thank you for lurking. The armchair sets were not only decorative, but they also protected the furniture. Yes, upholstery fabric back then was made of natural fibers, not like petroleum-based fabrics we have today that was easier to clean. Exactly, Grammy. So, Just interesting to see some of the stuff that was around decades ago. I think my main interest is the edgings and the doilies, and that might be it. They have coasters, which are basically doilies, but they're smaller. When I get done this round, which I'm going to be right here, I think we're going to call it a stream, and that would have been on for about 3 hours tonight. A little bit of a longer stream. Check something. Then I will also determine if this is tall enough. It probably isn't. I might as well just use the rest of this ball of yarn. Either way, end of the round. We're going to call it a night. I also have some behind the scenes things I have to do for upcoming streams. I'll be working on that tonight as well before I go to sleep. Couple more stitches. Alrighty, now we're going to slip stitch to join this together. I don't know how many rows I've done, but we're getting taller. Okay. Put that away for tonight. Wind down here. So, like I've been saying all stream long, I will be on Thursday night for our mystery, well, not mystery, well, kind of a mystery, surprise square. All I'm saying is Ladybug. Ladybug, I really like Ladybug. And again, I'll be on Saturday to round out our Granny Month. Like I've mentioned before, join the Discord, join the YouTube. And I don't see anybody that we're going to go raid. So I think that's it for tonight. So thank everybody for coming in tonight and interacting and hanging out and watching me make Mr. Snail, which looks a little lopsided. Okay, well, again, everybody have a good night. I will talk to you the next